All right, welcome back to F1 Fanatics. As promised, every Thursday or Friday, depending on our schedule, we talk about the 2007 battle between Lewis Hamilton and Herr Alonso, which was a legendary battle that year, in which Hamilton came came out of nowhere as the super rookie and humbled Alonso. So we're now this week we're going to talk about the fallout from the Australia race. So we know that in Australia, Alonso beat Hamilton. Alonso came second, Raikkonen came first, and Hamilton came third. But this was a controversial race because the team did some extra manipulation to make sure that Alonso beat Hamilton after Hamilton jumped him at the start of the race. So here's the background. At the start of the race, Alonso was, of course, the preferred driver. He's the world champion, two-time world champion coming in. So at the start of the race, they gave Hamilton more fuel. They gave him a full load of fuel and gave Alonso less fuel. Alonso was in P2, Hamilton was in P4. They did this to make sure that there was no way that Hamilton could jump Alonso and upset him since he got team favorite, especially since he qualified well. But here's what happened. At the start of the race, P1, P2, P3, P4. P1 was Raikkonen, P2 was Alonso, P3 was Heifeld, and P4 was Hamilton with a heavy load. Hamilton jumped everybody into second position after Raikkonen at the start of the race. He jumped Alonso and Heifeld. That was a stunner. That was when we took note that this young kid ain't playing around. We knew that he was fast in qualifying, but we didn't know that on a heavier load of fuel than Alonso, he jumped Alonso into second place. From that point on, he controlled the lead over Alonso while he was in second. Did a pit stop, got fueled, and then was leading. When it was time for him to come in for his second pit stop, this is where the games began. Number one, they had him pit earlier than Alonso, which was weird, instead of letting him stay out longer. This was basically admitted by Ron Dennis. They did that so that Alonso could get the lead back. But here's what's even funnier. After Hamilton had his first stop, they underfueled him. They underfueled him on purposely so that he would have to come in for an earlier stop after the second stint. So what they did was they underfueled him and they gave Alonso more fuel. So they manipulated the fueling after the first stop to give Alonso more so he could go on a longer stint and Hamilton less so that he would have to pit and then be over, what do you call it when you go overcut by Alonso. Alonso would overcut him. Short story, long story short, Alonso got his P2 back. Hamilton got caught in traffic after his early stop, and Alonso won. Hamilton would have beaten Alonso in that race if they hadn't underfueled him and then made him pit early. After the race, Hamilton was a polite little rookie. He was like, rules are rules. I mean, I understand the team is doing this, but it's very strange and it's a little bit disappointing. For Hamilton to say it's very strange, a little bit disappointing, you can imagine what was really in his head. What do you think, Johnny? How do you think he really was feeling?
Well, I think let me see. I think first of all he must have thought, man, you guys messed me up,
Yeah.
But I also think he also knew that was the plan, There was because he was actually supposed to be the next, and not the preferred guy, so to say. Because the plan,
Yeah.
so they must have actually gone through just thinking about it now. They must have gone through the plan. Okay, but I don't think they really like trying to get at him to make him lose.
Well, here's the thing. So here's why I think he was upset. So the plan was, okay, you're going to start on heavy fuel. So therefore, you're not going to be able to pass Alonso. But after passing Alonso, the strategy should have changed since he passed him, because you can't tell him that, because Alonso is the favorite, that means you have to let Alonso win the race. It just means that the strategy should favor Alonso. So the strategy was to give Alonso lighter fuel and to give Hamilton heavier fuel. But after that strategy didn't work, they now changed their mind and said, let's give Hamilton less fuel. You understand what I'm saying? They keep changing the goalposts. You already moved the goalpost for Alonso to the right. But then when Hamilton outstarted him, and Hamilton had more fuel. So they on purposely didn't fill him up on the second fuel stop. So what I'm saying is that that means they were just basically telling Hamilton that don't pass Alonso throughout the whole race. You get what I'm saying? That's different from giving Alonso strategical. You understand what I'm saying? Like, let's say Alonso gets the first stop and you undercut Alonso. Will they not tell you that you have to stop again so he can pass you again? That's like trying to fix the race. You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, because they gave Hamilton more fuel at the beginning so that he wouldn't catch Alonso, but he still caught Alonso after the first lap. So my thing is that they should say bravo,
They
even though
wanted him to do more stops, right?
no, they wanted him to be heavier at the start so that Alonso could. Alonso's car was lighter, so they wanted Alonso to have a double advantage at the start over Hamilton. You get my point.
Yes, yes,
But Hamilton
yes,
passed him.
yes.
But Hamilton passed him at the start. So
Yeah.
so so what they now did was, even though Hamilton had more fuel in his car, you told him you wanted him to have more fuel. Now they gave him less fuel. They didn't fill up his car so that he would be light, so that he would have to make more stops in the future. That was just too much. That's too much manipulation, don't you think so?
Yeah,
I'm
but I think Hamilton, really, as in that part, he himself probably didn't realize that his car was that fast. Well, that he could jump
yeah.
Alonso. So he just flipped the script right there, and he
And they flipped the script again. So
yeah.
and here's the thing that we know McLaren was not a racist team. They liked Hamilton. If they even liked him more than Alonso, but because Alonso was a two-time champion, for the first race they had to placate him.
Yeah.
Even they said, but moving forward, they stopped doing those games. But it was just the first race, so they were like, okay, this kid is new. Let's placate Alonso, because Alonso's a drama king. He's not quite a drama queen yet, but he's a drama king. He's gotten more mature.
Yeah.
So they were like, okay, Alonso, we just signed him for trillions of dollars. Let's please him. Let's
actually, I was actually very excited when I saw Alonso driving for Mercedes, because I know that he was a champion. So I was like, yeah, for McLaren, Mercedes, yeah. When he switched over, so I was like, I was like, yeah, this is like going to be a new star. Of course, I was happy when I saw Hamilton, first black guy, that kind of thing. So yeah. So this is going to be a nice team, and then to watch. But then seeing that Alonso, and I thought Alonso kind of would be the champion, but seeing Hamilton just like again, that was it, as in flip the script again, as in he just
yeah.
I just wonder if as in, was he like finding out that wow, I'm this good. Well, every race, like I'm this good, or was it like I'm gonna flip the script?
Alonso knew. I think Hamilton knew he was good. He probably surprised himself by how good he was. But I think he has that mentality, like all the young kids. Like this is Lindblad kid now. He's saying he's going to beat the big boys. Lindblad for Red Bull junior team, a Red Bull V card. Verstappen, even when he was 17, he knew. So I think that Hamilton has that killer instinct, in which he knew he was good. But I don't think he thought that first race he would beat Alonso, and I'm sure it surprised him. Yeah, but you know what it was, because Lewis Hamilton used to be an instinctive driver. He didn't think about it, so he's just reacting. He's like, wow. I remember, because I used to run track. I was very good. I ran 10-2 in the 100 meters. But the first time when we raced all our kids in school, I was like, wow, I'm beating them. That's the first time I'm realizing that I'm fast. You get my point. So I think Hamilton knew he was going to win, but he probably didn't know. And I don't think the team thought that Hamilton was flipped the script in the first race, but he did. And I think that when that happened, Ron Dennis started thinking, cha-ching, cha-ching. British. Number one, British. Number two, black. You get my point?
Yeah.
And also, number three, I've been dealing with this kid since he was 13 years old. So I think Ron Dennis was like surprised, like, yeah, we're going to make this guy not the number one, but they weren't going to help Alonso beat Hamilton at all. Mm-hmm. They weren't going to help him after that. What are your last thoughts before we move on here?
Well, Jamel, I thought it was like what was going through Alonso's mind every time when he was in his room, like, seeing that this guy is messing things up. Hamilton is messing things up. As in, this is not, I'm sure he must have been going home annoyed every day, every evening, every time after the race. So like, this guy is fucking it up.
Human beings are complex. He may suppress that jealousy and pretend he's like, I know I'm good. You know how some people can become delusional. I think that's what he was doing. He didn't want to admit to himself that Hamilton was as good as he was, or even better. I still think, like you said, Alonso, when you look at it all around, he may be a better overall racer than Hamilton, but he didn't do his own thing. He was so focused on Hamilton that he started making bad judgments when driving. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But now he's cooled down. He's like, the other day he was even like, I won't lie, Verstappen is better than me. Remember when Verstappen had that qualifying in Suzuka last year? Alonso was like, yeah, this motherfucker better than me. He never said that about him. But he's 40 years old. He's calmed down a little bit. All right. So that's it. Any last thoughts?
No, that's it.
We're ready for Friday. So, guys, you've been watching F1 Fanatics every Thursday/Friday based on our busy fucking schedule. We'll get out this video, F1 history. We're going to be covering this probably for weeks to come because we're going to unfold this one of the greatest battles in the history of F1 that people need to talk about, Alonso versus Hamilton. Like, share, subscribe, and also stay tuned because we're talking about the testing in Bahrain. All right, Johnny, have a good one, man.
Okay, you too. Take it easy.
Yeah.